And here we go.
All
What's up,
right.
everybody? Look at that. We have B
Hey,
on
everyone.
video.
I'm here this time.
Oh, man. It feels good that way, though. I like that.
Looks awesome.
Guys, welcome to episode 2 of The Indie, your one-stop vlog for all your information about The Indie. It's funny because B and I were talking right before we went live, and we were talking about, we're like, is this a vlog or is this a podcast? And we decided to throw the words together and came together with the vlog. So it's officially what it is. It's the vlog now.
It's their own thing. It's a live stream vlog.
Love it.
You won't find this anywhere else.
Absolutely. So what you been up to the last couple of weeks? I know that I was gone all last week, so.
Whew. It's been a lot, actually. I went to Japan.
Oh.
We were doing research for Calico, one of Whitethorn Digital's games. We were supposed to be in China at a game show, and some things came up. And anyway, we ended up in Japan. Long story. So we ended up going to a bunch of cat cafes, animal cafes. It was a lot of fun. We were doing research for games and science. So that was a great time. I don't know. We've done a lot of stuff. We just did a big promotion for Bee Simulator. I actually got to voice act in that game as Kind Bee Alice. You'll meet her at the beginning of the game for the tutorial. So we've been playing that a lot lately too.
That's absolutely amazing, actually.
What about you, Halios? You've been places too in the last couple weeks.
Oh man. Oh, I went to the Bahamas. I actually went to So let's see. It was Saturday night before it, and I got a really bad infected left eye. So I was like, ooh, man. So I woke up Sunday and I went to work, and my job literally goes, no, go home. No. They're like, bye, see you later. So I went home, and it was like everything just decided to flop on me right before the cruise. So I had 102-degree fever and all these different things, and I was like, oh, okay. Right before the cruise. Awesome.
Oh, gosh.
So all these things dropped on me, but it worked out because the first day stunk because we were at sea, so I was sick. But after that, we went to the Bahamas, and we went to Atlantis the first day. And Atlantis is, have you ever been to the Bahamas before?
I have not, but I've seen commercials for Atlantis since I was 10.
Yeah, they're forever, right?
Right.
They it's a giant. You land there, and the place is it's exactly what you expect from the Bahamas. It's very middle class, rural, kind of lots of buildings in a small area kind of thing. The big what am I thinking about here? The earning wages of the area is definitely lower. So you go in and you see a lot of people that will hustle, they hustle for what they got to make, and they hustle around, and they're doing. It's actually pretty inspiring, honestly, if you go in and watch it, because these people are so dedicated to making sure they make a buck. So you get off the boat, and the first thing that happens is they're like, hey, check out my stuff that I just made. Check out these hand woven baskets, and check out all these really cool things. So we went through this little market, and this market just had all these really cool, a guy was carving stuff out of stone and out of wood and all these really cool things. And we got to Atlantis, which is the big hotel, and the big hotel is beautiful. And we had a friend there that we didn't know that what they were leaving us. They just said, oh yeah, we work here, no big deal, coming over, we'll get you something, no big deal. So we got there. The friend left us a package pass for the whole park, right, for the whole hotel, private beaches, everything on the private area, anything for the water parks. And we're just we're here for 5 hours. We just wanted to come and see the place,
Right. Oh no. So you had access to everything, but not enough time to go experience it, huh?
Yeah. So yeah, we ended up going checking out as much as we could. We ran around like little kids. And it was a lot of fun. The private beaches are gorgeous. The water is something that I will remember for the rest of my life. It is beautiful, and you can see everything in the water, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. And then we got off the cruise, like we got back from the cruise Friday morning, like really early in the morning. And we landed in Orlando. So instead of just going straight home, we actually ended up going to Disney for 2 days.
That's
And
awesome. I love Disney. Jealous. Very jealous.
it's so much fun. Yeah, Disney. We went to the what's it called? Mickey's Magic Christmas, which is like it's like a whole Christmas party, and they fake snow and all that stuff. So it was really cool.
That is awesome. I haven't been to Disney during their winter holidays. I've been during the fall season.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. I'm glad you had a good vacation. It's definitely good to get away and refresh, and I bet you're ready to get back into the indies and dive back into streaming.
Oh God, yes. The moment I got back, I was like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I'm refreshed. Let's go.
Good. I'm glad you got that chance.
I'm like really jealous you went to Japan though.
Oh my god. I didn't want to come back, so
Japan
that was
is
really cool.
that's like top 10, top two places that I think I definitely would want to see in my lifetime.
And it should be. It is not overrated at all. I had such a wonderful experience there. I got really lucky though. Uh my boss from Whitethorn, who we went with, actually lived there for a while and
Oh
could
wow.
speak and read some of it, so we weren't super lost all the time.
Oh wow.
Um, and he knew like what kind of food we definitely needed to try, and we got a lot done within a week. And the food, oh, I could just every day, just food. Every meal we had was amazing. You could go into a 7-Eleven, which are everywhere in Japan, and eat there, and it was awesome. Like everything was so good. The city's so clean. Um, it's got the largest subway system, I think, in the world, and that was complicated, but we made our way around. Everyone was willing to help us, when
Oh
we were,
man.
we looked lost, like, "I don't know where I am." Um, we went to, like, the Pokemon Center. We went to an onsen, like, the spas. That was really cool. We did all kinds of stuff. I rode on a bullet train and
Oh my
so many
God.
great things, and everything is so fun there, like, even, like, warning signs are cartoon. Everything is just made to be, like, I don't know, everything was really just fun. They put fun in things that wouldn't normally be fun, and I really enjoyed that.
See, that sounds like they bullet trains and all the things over there that they have that we don't have over here is just amazing. Oh
It was
man.
really cool. Very, efficient. They were very efficient.
Yes, that's the big thing about that area too is they're just so efficient. Everything.
I
My
guess you'd have
God.
to be with the the population, otherwise it would
Yes.
just be chaos.
It's funny too because when you said I was able to ask, like, I'm like, how did you guys communicate when you were over there? And when you said that he's been over there for a little while, makes sense.
Yeah, it helps a lot. Just like, he lived there for over a year or so, but even then, like, their language is pretty hard to learn.
Mm-hmm.
So there would be still signs and things that we had to figure out. Google's Translate app helped a little bit. I used it very occasionally. I like in our Airbnb, for instance, you had to turn on the hot water heater when you needed to use the water, and you don't just have it on all the time like we do here.
Uh-huh.
And so I get up in the morning. I didn't have anyone to help me, so I just took a picture of the box, and I read the instructions on my phone. I'm like, "Okay, so it translated it. I think this is the on button." You could set, like, the temperature and everything. Little
That's
tiny things like that was I'm so glad that we have technology now to help us navigate those things. I couldn't imagine trying to travel around before having cell phones.
no,
So,
no, there's no way. I've seen those things too that you're talking about, and they just translate for you, and I'm just like, that's absolutely amazing. We live in a great lifetime.
we really do. We take it for granted for sure.
Really do. So let's go and hop right into the indies. And the first one, actually, Ozzy's already asking about it in chat, is GTFO. Have you had a chance to try this game yet?
How did Ozzy know? I have not got to try it yet.
This game is terrifying.
Oh boy, this might be why I haven't tried it yet.
So what GTFO is, it's a hardcore 4-player cooperative first-person shooter. But the focus is about atmosphere and making sure that your team works together to be able to survive. This is like, just from the moment you start up, you start picking out your build of your character, and you build like your primary weapon, your secondary weapon, your tool, which is going to be like a foam sprayer, a mine delayer, a sentry gun, stuff like that. And then you're just injected into this atmosphere that is creepy and like dirty, disgusting, and slimy and echoey. Like when you take footsteps, you hear the footsteps echo off the walls. You like have to sneak basically everywhere with your melee weapon. Your ammo is super conserved. Oh my god! When I got to hop in the beta like 2 months ago, it was an experience and a half to play this game.
I feel like I would be yelling the entire time, especially having your teammates and you're trying to communicate and you're freaking out.
It was terrifying.
Oh my god.
So you go room by room, and every single time you go into a room, one player can have like a scanner that will scan what's in the room for you. So it'll tell you like how many enemies are in the room, and like where the location is. Mm-hmm. So the trick is to like sneak up and smash their heads, because that's the only way to kill them, is to smash their heads, or blow their heads up. I know that sounds sorry.
I mean, double tap.
yeah. There's these alien creatures, and if you alert any of them in the room, they all come swarming for you in that room. So if you have 15 of them in a room and you piss off the second one, 13 of them is coming right at you at full speed, and they are ridiculous. And then like you get down the way, and you think that you get the game down. This is my favorite part about the game. You think you get the game down, and then it starts introducing these monsters, like tentacle monsters, that have like special abilities. I'm not going to ruin it for anyone that's going to play it, so I'm going to stop there. But this game had me on my edge pretty much the whole time. And I
4-player co-ops can already be intense, having to do the communication. I've never played one that's in a scary, dark environment. I would definitely have that person on the team that would just run out and alert everything in the room just to just to mess with us.
Leroy Jenkinson.
Oh man. I could just see that happening. I feel like this will be a really fun one to watch people stream. It seems like even if you don't want to play it, that this will be a really great one to just enjoy watching your favorite streamer play.
And that's what it is too. It's streaming fodder, because it just like has so much to it that you're just like, you'll be playing it, and I can't even describe like the way that it was feeling the whole time I was playing it. I just, oh yeah, it was a game and a half. It really was. Oh my god, I'm even thinking about it right now.
So is this game out already?
It did just get released. It's on sale right now for $31.49 until January 3rd. Okay. Normal price is $35, so you're only saving like 10% roughly. Gotcha. It's by 10 Chambers Collective, which I don't know about any other game that actually makes 10 Chambers Collective. 10 Chambers Collective actually involved. Thinking about 10 Chambers, it's involved with Left 4 Dead, wasn't it?
I'm actually not sure on that one. It seems like a game that would be able to take something they've learned from Left 4 Dead and apply it to what they're doing, since it's got that. I used to love Left 4 Dead. Now that you're bringing that up, that was some of the first games that I played online with my friends. So Modern Warfare 2, COD 4, Left 4 Dead, Halo, those types of game. But I definitely put some hours into Left 4 Dead. And that was always such a good time. And I feel like I haven't played another game that quite had that same feeling that I got from that one.
It's funny because if you're looking for that, that's kind of like GTFO, just the environment's so much better. The I want to say Left 4 Dead is more pandemonium infused. Like they force you to be pandemonium. They force you to be in that situation. GTFO allows you to avoid all the chaos if you take careful situations, except for later on when obvious situations happen and noises happen, and then all of a sudden, like I said, I can't reveal too much about the game. I want people to experience the game for all the pureness it is. But if you like Left 4 Dead, you actually might really enjoy this game. You might be terrified, but you might really enjoy this game.
I may have to join you one day,
Yes.
and you'll have to show me
Show you the ropes.
Yeah, that sounds really good.
I think the next one we got is Last Year. If you want to take over there.
Last year, okay. So I'm a little unprepared as always. Okay, so I haven't actually looked at this one yet. So you might have to explain the base of the game.
That's fine. Last year, what it is it actually was a really popular. It was most popularity at PAX East. It got a ton of PAX East popularity. It's a 5v1 where the monster is hunting the classmates, and the classmates are trying to escape in a confined area. So like a school, what is it, like a park and stuff like that. So think like Friday the 13th. Think like the same kind of like basis of like Friday the 13th, where Jason's hunting down the campmates.
Gotcha.
That, except in Last Year they take it up a notch. The killer isn't as useless as like Dead by Daylight. Like Dead by Daylight's great, but if you can trick a killer into like being in the same area and just like rapping circle, you can dominate a good 70% of the killers. This killer in like Last Year, they have powers and they can move around and they can disappear and reappear, and they can drop traps on you, and they can do like a bunch of things, and they're just not they feel like a killer. They feel like a super powerful minion that you should fear, rather than like someone that's gonna do a little fancy dance on your body when you're like that kind of thing.
I gotcha. I did watch a video on this one just a little bit ago about one of the monsters is actually like this giant spider.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was really cool. It had like this vomit goo and different abilities based around like the spider as you're going and hunting your prey. I thought that was really cool, and I think that was just released recently. So I just went. I think I just read it. Just went through an update recently.
It just actually got the update today.
It was today. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so very fresh.
The spider literally just actually dropped today. The this game has actually been out for Discord for a little while. Discord was actually the one to get the first version of it, and the thing is though, the scary thing about this game though is the release that they gave for Steam. It almost seemed like they were trying to fix things and they broke the game.
Oh no.
Yeah. Aww. So they had a really good product when they released it for Discord, and they were doing really well with it, and people really enjoying the game. But then what they did was they went they kind of went radio silence for a good 9-10 months, not really announcing anything, not saying anything. Kind of let people were enjoying it, but there were server problems and there were little bug issues that they really needed to fix with the Discord version. And then all of a sudden they pop back up and go, hey, by the way, we're releasing for Steam in 2 months. Here you go. This is what's going on. So people were hoping that when the Spider version came out, which was always planned, the Spider was going to be the next monster. They were hoping that the Spider would fix a lot of the problems that came up. Well, what they did was, instead of because they were having a lot of campers and a lot of problems with that stuff, which every game like this does. Campers are just,
everyone's gonna find how to
fix the system
kind
and
of cheat.
for them.
Yeah.
So what they did was the camper system. They changed it to where there's little spiders actually on the map, And if you stand in a spot too long, the spiders come and attack your character. So they're like little spiders that you can wipe out with one melee hit. But
They keep you moving a little bit.
yeah, they keep you pushing along. They just like go, hey, like, come on, let's go. So, I don't like it. I think they didn't do a good job on that situation. I think the base game was a ton of fun, and especially if you can get like really good, like 6 really fun people together. This was a party game. This was a game that you could scream all night about and just have a ton of fun and have a couple beers with your friends and just really have a good time.
Yeah.
I feel like they needed to. I feel like they need to revisit their roots before this game really becomes. Oh God, yeah.
Oh God, that is no.
About that.
That was.
That's a good time.
Oh
right
my
there.
goodness! All right, they're serious about their gore and gruesomeness. That spider just decapitated him.
They're not
Oh my
afraid to do
goodness.
this.
No,
I think
that was really wild.
Yeah, the spider, and the funny thing is they have like
Oh,
5.
there's a vomit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's supposed to make it sticky and poison. You lose like your health as you go through it. They have like 5 different killing animations for each part. So like the spider has 5 for its jaws, and then 5 for its like tentacles its legs, and 5 if it's like doing this, and 5 if it's doing that. Yeah, they put a lot of it, like actual work into the animations, which obviously if you're like a Mortal Kombat fan, you're you're big about that. So
Yeah, it makes it more fun. Like,
oh, of course,
watching the deaths be different each time, and well, it looks like a really fun game. It sounds like there's still some things they need to work out to kind of polish it, but that can be so rough if they did an update and launched it, and then it's not what the community wanted, or there's some things that still need worked out. That can be really hard on a game, and I hope that they're able to figure those mechanics out and get it polished for to make the community happy so that it picks up.
I really hope so too, because it could be a really good game.
It looks like a lot of fun. A game that it reminds me of. Did you play Breach?
Oh my God, I love Breach.
I liked Breach a lot too, and the people I played with liked it a lot, but for whatever reason, it just didn't catch on like it needed to, and they had to cut it. And I was really sad about it because I really enjoyed playing with the mechanics of it, because it was four players working together against one bad guy, and you moved around as like the demon, and you came up and you tried to disrupt the group as they were trying to achieve the challenge of the room. So each room and segment you went through would be like destroy all of the bad guys, or get the robot from point A to point B, and then the opponent would come in and try to disrupt you from achieving your challenge. And I really loved the concept and the characters, and it was really in depth though, so it did take a lot of time to grasp each character play type and things. But it kind of reminds me of that, where it's like, oh, I just hope they can pull through, because it would be such a great team-based game. With that, I love the unique concept of this one, where it's like kind of gruesome and scary a little bit, but
I agree with
man,
you there too, and it's funny that you bring
yeah.
up Breach too, because that's exactly where I went with that too. Was that Breach element? Oh man, that game was so many good times, man.
Hey, me and the Joe show would play it together. It was just so sad. I was
Oh,
so sad when they shut it down. I actually had a spray tag in it for my logo, and that was really cool because they were really trying to involve their community, like, really heavy, and I loved where they were going with that. But
100%.
hopefully the team that's working on that, hopefully they found some other things to get into, and they have more success next round.
Oh, hopefully. My God, I hope they work. I hope they work on that and be able to. I think that team split up and went into other companies, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But it's funny because something I kind of like. You make me kind of wonder now. Whatever happened to Breach? I'm gonna look this up. Why don't you do Shovel Knight and I'll look
Okay.
this up real fast.
All right, Shovel Knight. So Shovel Knight has been around for some time now by Yacht Club Games. There it is. Little Shovel Knight. So I haven't played a lot of Shovel Knight, but I've played very similar games to Shovel Knight, and I know how much people love this game. So the new DLC is called King of Cards and Shovel of Hope. Um, let's see. So Shovel Knight gets final D. Oh, this is the final DLC of Treasure Trove. Oh, you haven't played this one yet either, have you?
No, not yet. And it's a
We are
staple.
slacking on such an iconic indie title, aren't we?
I know. It's something that has always sat in my library and that I've been meaning to like get to, but I haven't.
So let's look here. I'm gonna read the description. So anyway, if y'all haven't seen Shovel Knight, and I'm hoping you have if you've hung out in the indie realm, they have very overly whelming positive reviews on Steam, which is not common. Overwhelmingly positive. Shovel Knight Treasure Trove is the complete Shovel Knights collection containing all 5 games in the epic saga. Dig, blast, slash, and bash your way through a fantastical 8-bit inspired world of pixel perfect performing, memorable characters, and world class action adventure gameplay. So,
It's
this
it
is one of those side scrolling kind of adventure platformers
Yeah,
that have
it
that
looks like
nostalgia pixel.
exactly. It looks very nostalgic. Like they even have the old text boxes and the old like writing. Even when they're like the words are shaking there like that, like the old RPGs. I love that. I know people have been fandomed about Shovel Knight for a long time. Cosplays and everything has just been ridiculous about Shovel Knight.
There's some
Uh,
really cool amiibos out of them as well. I just saw that Jim Watts has like a gold one, and then one of my other friends has like blue Shovel Knights. There's some really cool amiibo characters from the game that I was checking out
you have to
earlier.
explain it. What are amiibos? Like that's something I don't know. I've never actually looked up. What are amiibos?
You know what? I have them, and I've never actually used one for like their purposes. So basically, amiibos are, I guess, similar to like the Skylander fad, where you have like a little plastic toy, basically. They kind of look like you'd get them out of a kid's meal back in the day, but they have a chip in them, and you can touch them to your Nintendo Switch, and it'll read it, and it'll retain like information. So if you have a character on Smash Brothers, like your Pikachu, you can actually scan yours in and it'll bring all of your stats that you've collected onto that particular cute little amiibo. I actually might have one.
I'm like interested because
I've got one right here. So I have one of my little amiibos. Um,
the Wii Fit
and she's
trainer,
the
yeah.
Wii Fit trainer. I don't know. I have 3 of these. I was trying to give one to Jem because he likes them, and I never got to meet up with him at PAX for it. But yeah, I bought some when they first came out because Nintendo is always collectible, and I was like, oh, I love Nintendo. Maybe I'll play it. But for some reason, I don't use my Switch enough. I don't get to dive into Nintendo as much as I'd like to. Um, but maybe one day, maybe one day. I've got a bunch of amiibos that I haven't opened.
Well,
But they're
especially with
really fun.
Nintendo. Nintendo's doing that whole indie progress now. They're financing and providing a lot for the indie companies too. So uh,
They are doing such amazing things for the indie community, and I'm always excited when my favorite indie games are coming to Switch because you get
I
to take
know
them with you. They're great for traveling on the plane or waiting at the doctor's office or things like that. They're just so portable.
they were smart with. Remember when the Switch before the Switch came out? You remember people were like, "Oh, we wanted Nintendo to come out with this really powerful machine," and they had all these complaints about it. And now it's like the most innovative one. Like,
It really is. They take those risks, right? They always take the risk to create something different instead of, "Oh, well, we have to make it the most powerful." So I feel like a lot of the console wars are like, well, which one has the best graphics card? Which one has the more power? And Switch is like, we don't need to be the best looking, best, you know, gear inside of our system, but we need to be fun and we need to, it's all about how the Switch makes you feel, in my opinion. Nintendo gives you
yeah,
like a feeling over oh, this has the best graphics. And I love how innovative they are. And it's just, and I think it fits so well into indies because indies take those risks too, don't they?
it's
They
so
they
true.
they don't have, a bunch of people invested into them where they need to make sure that it comes out and it's polished and perfect and it appeals to everyone, where indies get to kind of take that risk and dive into areas that maybe haven't been explored yet. Um, I feel like I had another point with this, the what you had to say. Well, you go ahead, and I'll try to come back to it.
Oh no, you're fine. You know the Switch is just it's just we took it on the cruise, and on the time that we couldn't do anything, that Switch was like our main focus. Like the idea that we could unattach those controllers and didn't need a Wi-Fi connection. We propped it up on a pillow, and we're laying there in bed, each fighting each other in the Mortal Kombat on this little mini
Yes.
screen, which is surprisingly way sharper than I feel like it should be, because it is. You could see that thing from like half across the room still, which is awesome. And we're sitting there fighting each other, and like, this little mini controller here, and just having the time of our lives with this little mini thing. And I was thinking about that even on the boat. I was just like, people were making fun of this thing. Like, people were making fun of the Switch. Like, they were like, "Oh, we're going to sell. This is stupid. It's another Game Boy." And I'm like, no, this is
No,
how,
it's
yeah, this is
not.
how companies should think about. Like, this is what companies. And then after that, what was it? After Switch started doing really well, like the first year, Xbox started talking about doing Play Anywhere, whether you play on all your different systems and you play walking and stuff like that. PlayStation came out with that whole thing that you could play on your phone with, and I'm like, dang man, Nintendo, man.
They're like, we had an idea and we did it, and yeah, everyone had to have a piece of that cake.
Yeah, they're like, gotcha.
I remember one fun moment at GDC last year, which is the Game Developers Conference. One of our game devs has a game out on it, Bombfest, and that's a 4-player party game.
It's so
And you
fun
can
too.
just take the controls at like Zach would carry the screen around of the Switch, and he would hold it, and he like, "Hey, you wanna play my game?" And he would hand people the controllers just walking around the convention center, and he would just hold it, and you could play the game because the matches are real quick, and it's 2 buttons, easy for anyone to pick up and play, you get it immediately. And it was just so fun that he was able to demo his game to people carrying around a console instead of having to, like, get the laptop out, "Let's sync these controllers up, let's plug it into a monitor." It's just like, boom, there it is.
It
It's
was
just so
super
nice.
super easy, and that's the best thing. It was just super easy to use. Um, the controls are very simple. There's not that many buttons on it too. I mean, there's like 7 buttons plus a control pad.
It's so yeah, it's so simple. There is a so when games are launching on the Switch, they have to actually, if they have a really like 4K great graphics, they do have a harder time porting to the Switch though because it doesn't have the um the higher end stuff, so they have to kind of tone their game back just a little bit to make sure it runs smoothly on
Oh,
the
I didn't
Switch.
know
So
that.
some games won't come out until much later on the Switch because they have to optimize it.
I didn't know that. That's actually really interesting.
So that's a big reason why. And then Nintendo is so very um, tedious, and they want to make sure that what games are coming out on it are great, right? So they make sure the certification process is, they make sure it runs smooth and it's going to be enjoyable for their audience. So I do like that about them, that if you're buying an indie game on there, it's been looked at and tested and
It's been
approved
approved.
by Nintendo. So you're
I
going to get something good.
and I like that too. They take pride in their product, and that's a good thing. I think the next one we got is Hurt World, and that is if you are fans of survival games, I'm gonna tell you right here. This is the Dark Souls of survival games. Hurt World is. What it basically is, it says the fight God of the Dead as you hack and slash. Oh, sorry, the wrong one. Just kidding. The Hurt World is a hardcore multiplayer survival FPS with a focus on competitive gameplay and strategic map control. It's built for hardcore gamers. I'm not kidding you. When I streamed on Twitch, like this was released early access maybe 4 years ago, 4-ish. And now just as of today, it's actually released into a full actual full game.
Wow, they've been working on it for a while. I don't want to ask what I just saw on the top of that box, but
yeah. This game is very like, it really is like what you expect any type of like Rust meets Ark, but without the dinos kind of game. Like you build like helicopters and bikes and have all these crazy things going on for it, and it really is like a modern day Ark. But it is brutal, and you can have up to I think 100 people per server.
Oh wow!
And those 100 people can seamlessly be on the same server at the same time, and like as you see with like the video right now, he's building like a house and he's doing all this like crafting and all this stuff going on. When they say competitive gameplay, let me tell you, they give you no assistance in anything. Like you have to learn how to do everything. You have to learn the recipes. You have to the gameplay, the gunplay. Like they don't help you with aiming. They don't help you with the bullets. They don't help you with anything like some of these games do. Like they'll give you a smidgen of help, like with some gunplay or some arrows or stuff like that. No. This game's like, you know what? You can't handle it. You're just gonna die a lot till you figure it out. Like.
So a very true survival game. We're not holding your hand.
Oh my god. It is the survival of survival games.
I need my handheld. I don't know if I would probably die a lot in this game. It looks great though. Like it looks like fun. Like the graphics themselves seem very kind of minimal. Like they're not super detailed. It doesn't seem like it's like super, immersive with the graphics. But the way you're describing it with those the rock textures, it's just they're not worried about that in the game. It seems like they're really concerned with, you're playing against other people, like learning to survive, building your own fortresses and stuff. It looks like the mechanics are probably really fun, but they're like, we're not going to worry about the way it looks because it's just going to be so fun you don't even care.
Exactly. And that's the thing too is I really think that I'm gonna zoom the video back here a little bit because I know that the video pops up sometimes, so it doesn't load all the way through sometimes. I know that the game, when I was playing it, it kept the same graphics, like it really did. They really haven't improved in the 4 years, like maybe some small textural things, but I think they did it because I know coming from like when I know you got to play Atlas for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get like deep into Atlas and they start doing like PvP and stuff like that, the people that do PvP really do PvP like that. That's their life. They actually turn down their graphic settings to the minimal. So they get the most frames. They get the like most optimal way of doing things. They really kind of just like take it to the extreme. So when you watch there's a couple streamers right now on Twitch. I can't think of their names off the top of my head, but when they do PvP, like they're part of like really big companies in Atlas, they turn their graphics just completely down. It literally looks like when you first start making a game, how you have like those filler graphics.
Mm-hmm.
It looks just like that, but it takes away like the grass texture, so people can't hide in the grass. It takes away like the foliage, so people can't hide in the trees. It takes away like.
Yeah, they just went ahead and did it for you. They're like,
yeah.
Again, you're not focusing on the way the grass blows in the wind.
Yeah, they're like, this is a blade of grass. Like, this is grass. We all know it's grass. We're good. It's lines of green. That's good. Like, But the competitive side of it is, when they say competitive, it really is. It's very competitive. It's very territorial. You try to you try to make your way and make a little corner of the world kind of spot for yourself, but you're never able to, how do I put this? You're never able to completely defend where you end up until you get to like much later levels. Your initial bases will always be destroyed no matter what. There's constantly people raiding. There's constantly people running around. It was a fun time when I was playing around with it in early access. I can't even imagine how the game is now. I'm looking at like the upgrades. Like they didn't have bikes or helicopters or like, missiles or even scopes when I played it. So I can imagine now, because they said it was version 2.0. I can imagine by now it's probably, my God, it's probably the most crazy experience you'll ever have in your life.
That's awesome. Yeah, it looks like they've been putting a lot into it. Oh,
Because I know you love Call of Duty, so I know you come from a competitive side. So what
yes, I do.
what would you think about like Call of Duty, but instead of just being on a small map, being on like a gigantic world, and you have to like survive?
I think I would really enjoy it because I love Call of Duty and I love the game The Calling. When
Oh
you
my God, the Call.
Yeah, The Calling has a special place in my heart and I miss it. So I feel like this could probably satisfy that like competitive need. I wish I had enough time to just get a bunch of my friends together and be like, we're gonna take over the server and we're gonna have our group and we're gonna dominate. We're gonna build this big base and like have helicopters and I feel like that would be so much fun and I really wish I had the kind of time to just dig into that.
I feel like that's what you need to like. These survival games, they're wonderful and they're amazing, but from playing the Atlas for like the last month, I'm starting to realize that if you don't have like a good player base to play with, you really
Mhm.
don't get that far into the game. Like you could build like a boat and you could like do all these things, but like we're getting ready to, like, my company right now is getting ready to take over an island. Like we're getting ready to like raid the island, destroy get enemy's base, and like take it over. So I would have never had that experience if I just played for like a week and been like, okay, cool, that was 50 hours in, cool, I'm happy, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, but like
I
to take over an island with your crew, like, that's like a full-time job. You gotta communicate with
yes,
them. When are we all getting online? Like you have to coordinate it, have a strategy plan. I feel like that's really fun though. I feel like you really get to immerse yourself and work with a group of people and do these really cool things in these video games that you can't do in real life. You can't go like take over the neighborhood. But when you're
I
playing in a
mean,
game like this, well, I mean, probably
you
shouldn't
probably
do
shouldn't.
that. But you get to do it in these really cool fantasy worlds, whether it's full of dinosaurs or pirates, or this one's very kind of more realistic without the dinosaurs flying around. Um, yeah, that's a really cool game. I'm glad you picked this one out to check out today. And
Definitely.
it's $8.75 right now.
Yep,
That's
until December
65% off.
12th. I know, it's ridiculous.
It's $8.75, y'all. Even if you played it for like 2 hours. Like, that's a steal right now for sure.
Yeah, you have to think about like your. I always think about that, and I think we had a good conversation about it one time where, like, the value of your dollar to how much time you put into a game. Like, where's the price point? Like, do you always want to put
Mm,
like, if I pay $10 for a game, how many hours do I expect out of that game? You know what I mean?
yeah, and I said that, and then I think about it. It's really not always the best way to judge a game because you go to the movie theater and you spend $12 to $15 for your movie ticket, and you spend 2 hours for a movie. So, depending on the goal of the game, so, like, this one is one of those that you wanna put a lot of time into and, you'll get 50, 100, 500 hours out of. But if you play, like, a very story-driven, narrative type of game that is artistic and has a message in it, like, the value of it, you can't always judge based on how many hours you get out of it because they all have kind of different motives and, experiences. So I try to stay away from being like, "Oh, well, you'll get this many hours and $8 is a great deal." But, at the same time, it really depends on the game that you're picking up because if there's a lot of art and love put into it, like spending, $15 on it and it's only 4 or 5 hours, you could still have a really meaningful experience at that price. And there's so many hours that the game devs and the publishers and everyone working on the game, around the game have put into it. Um, you know, it's hard to put values on games, right? The price points and if they're worth it or not.
It really is. I 100% agree there. And you make a good point because one of the indies of the year is Gris, like for the nominee, right?
Mhm.
And that game's like I think 45 minutes to an hour of full play or something like that.
Right. So I played through that one. Did you play through that one?
I didn't.
Okay, so that one's interesting because I haven't played through it again, but it felt like you could kind of it was a no punishment game really. You kind of floated through it and it seemed like there was like different paths you could take and collect these different little you collect these little lights. They kind of look like little fireflies. And I think you can get through it in just a hour or two or so. But you can go back and play it and there can be a lot more hours out of it. I haven't ever gone back and looked to see like the full completion, unlock all the achievements and things of what that would be like 100% of the game, how much gameplay there is in it. But yeah, if you just straight shoot through the story, it's a fairly short game, but you really can kind of go into it further and explore more areas cuz it doesn't matter how high you climb or how far you fall in that game, it just always feels like there's always just more to discover and see. That game is really unique. But you can just get through the story really quickly. But it has been nominated for so many things and it's won so many awards so far, and it's a very unique title with beautiful music and art and there's no words in the game, but yet it tells this beautiful story.
I have to go
Yeah.
back and check. I've heard some good
Yeah,
things
you'll
about that.
have to experience it for yourself for sure.
Why don't you run us through Hades now?
All right, let's see. This okay, so I only got like halfway through the list today. So let me pull this one up. Did I? All right, I lost. Okay, so my computer's being weird. So is it Hades? Okay, Hades. All right. Oh, this one looks like fun. Okay, so this will be my very first view on this one. So you're gonna get my very raw, like first impressions on this one. Okay, come on, Steam. Hello. Uh-oh. Steam is telling me it doesn't want to load.
Steam
Where
does
are
that.
you?
I love Steam.
Steam
It's
just looks
funny
like it
too.
had an update recently. Have you
Yeah,
been to your library? It's all different.
yeah. The library is different.
Is
With
this game on?
Steam,
Is this game on Steam?
yeah, just released on Steam actually today. It was originally an Epic Games exclusive that they just released on Steam.
It does not let me open. I can't open the page. I've got the soundtrack up. The soundtrack up. Defy the god of the dead as you hack and slash out of the underworld in this roguelike dungeon crawler from the creators of Bastion, Transistor, and Pier. Hmm. All right. So very positive reviews. Just launched December 10th. So like you just said, it just came out. This looks really good. Like really fast paced. I don't play a lot of dungeon crawlers. I feel like our game preferences are kind of on other ends of the indie spectrum.
That's why it works so well. That's why when I was thinking about this too. That's funny too. When I was thinking about somebody that I would into like actually do something like this with, you were like number one literally because we have good interests on both ends of the spectrum, and we can appreciate the values of both ends. That's the best part. Is some people will be like, I only play these games, and that's the only thing I ever want to play ever again. But you're
Right.
like, I play these games, but I see where you come from because of these, and I appreciate that. It's a hard value to find somebody. Promise.
Yeah, it really is. And yeah, no, I definitely appreciate games for what they are cuz so I'll say like, "Oh, this isn't my type of game." But I guarantee you if you put that controller in my hand and I play it, I will find value in that game and I will find reasons to enjoy it. Um I'm not seeing this on our list of oh, Hades, here it is. So
Let's
it's
see.
on sale right now for 19.99 until December 17th. Um, so I have played a similar game. Well, no, I wouldn't even call it. I've not played a game like this at all. I don't. I was
It's kind
gonna
of like
refer to Book of Demons is one of the dungeon crawlers I really enjoyed, but that's like a deck building game, and it's you move one square at a time, and this one you have like kind of free roam around. Check out that god looking. This looks. I love the art. So far, the art really stands out. Like it's very pretty.
the art
Looks like
style
it moves
is
well.
amazing. Like it really is. The art style is super unique. I think the big thing that I love about it is that it's roguelike, and the dungeon crawler roguelike is like it's a hard concept to build together. And I think they do it very seamlessly. They bring a very fast paced type of game, and a lot of elements that you wouldn't normally find in a type of game like this. They do very well. It really is just like it looks like the characters are on crack at all times. Like they are just running around like maniacs at all times.
Very, very fast paced.
Mm-hmm.
No time to think, just play. And okay, so choose one. So it looks like I guess maybe as you level up, you get to choose these cards or
Yeah, you kind of. It looks like you
skills.
get to like choose like you get to choose like abilities in a sense. You kind of build your character as you grow. So you
You
die
can
and
break
you start
pots.
over.
Sorry, that's important. You get to break the
It,
pots.
but can you pet the dog?
But can you? That is always my question. Can you pet the dog? If not, you should probably rethink your
Right?
game.
I
Always should be able to
definitely.
pet
The dog you should always. Did you ever see that Twitter too? The Twitter was like, "Can you pet the dog?"
I love that's my favorite Twitter to follow. That is such a good one. I think who has the update for it? Oh, they just posted earlier. There's a new update for a game and you can now pet the dog. I will go
That was
just to that while
Blair
we
Witch
talk.
Project. You can
Which one?
upgrade the Blair Witch Project. You can upgrade the dog and make it look different too.
Dice. Oh, let's see. Here it is. Yeah, okay, it revealed that dog petting is coming to Terraria
Oh thank God!
during the 1.4 update. So Terraria is now petting dogs, which is great. And I swear that this Twitter is the reason some games are letting you pet the dog.
It
I really
has
think
to
they're
be.
making such a difference in the gaming community.
But can you pet the dog? No, I'm not buying your game. Nope.
Mm-mm. No, should have thought about that when you added the dog.
I definitely see like this. I don't see anyone playing this game with like a keyboard or mouse. I really don't. It has to be like a controller, the quick dash, like kind of joypad sense to it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's just me, but like the way the movements are going and just how quickly he's dashed around and just taking out enemies with a javelin looks like.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I don't see it happening. I know it's got really popular. Like this was really popular when it first released on the Epic Store. It was really popular, especially because I think the first day it released, Lyric like instantly streamed it, and you know, obviously Lyric with 20, 30,000 people at one time, you know, went crazy. Twitter kitty fit dog.
Oh.
So I know that it got popular really quickly. I liked it. I watched it. It was really good. I think the big reason is people got really mad at it. They didn't buy it because it released only to Epic. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
So a fun thing about that I saw today. So a lot of people, there's all this drama around Epic. I won't go into it, but they get these cool deals, and it allows them to usually get their game out and get the features in the games they want because they'll have the funds to do so to have the team, right? But today they announced that Goose Game is coming to Xbox Game Pass and PlayStation. So it's not even been out a couple months on Epic Store, and now it's coming to all consoles, including Game Pass. So they're not barring these games from consoles, which is great when you have an exclusive like this. It was just,
mhm.
kind of delayed. But I'm excited. I'm so excited for Goose Game to come to Game Pass so everyone can experience
Oh my god, the
The Goose Game.
randomness.
It's so good. It's such an enjoyable experience. But yeah, anyway, so this one is another epic game. Um, so
I
it
think they started off like they definitely started off early on Epic Games, and I think that it shouldn't have hurt them because it's still released, but
mhm.
it hurt them because people were like, "Well, it's Epic Games. I'm not touching it." Yeah, the foo like, "Oh god."
Yeah. I
um,
personally have not had an issue having to get my games on Epic Store. It's just
nope.
I open it up, there's my game. Like it's not, it's just
They
different.
download the same way.
Yeah, you
Like,
play them the same way. You pay the same price. But yeah, you know how people are. I think competition's good, and I think Steam has been stepping up their game. They're going to be like, "Oh, well, we want to make sure the best games come to our platform too. So what can we offer our game companies to make sure they want to launch on our platform?"
it's
So,
true. It's
we'll
very
see
true.
where that competition grows each of the platforms because in reality it all comes out good for us in the end because they
It
want to
really
make sure we
does.
have the best experience that we can. So without competition, things get stale, things don't get improved. So I'm excited to see where things go.
It's funny too because Discord was a competitor for a little bit. I thought Discord was going to blow up more than it did. It never did.
Sadly, I don't think the marketing was there with it. I didn't realize I even had like free games that I could access with Nitro until they were taking it away. And I'm like, wait, I had all these free games I could play. And now I'm like, oh, it's gone. Maybe they can try again in the future.
Yeah,
Maybe they weren't, ready for it. I feel like they wanted to soft launch it, and then the word just didn't get out that it was a platform to get games.
I mean they launched it right when Epic Store was coming out too. So it's like
Mm,
probably
yeah,
not the smartest idea. You're like
Epic's gonna get
launching.
the media, and then oh, but I like that they tried.
Yep, yep. It was a valiant effort. It was definitely a valiant effort.
What do you
Um,
think about Apple Arcade? Have you checked out Apple Arcade yet? I think that's a neat platform.
I actually haven't checked it out yet. That's something I gotta eventually get over to. Um, what exactly is it? Just like is it a bunch of handful of like really unknown games?
Well, yeah, a lot of them I've never seen before, but there are games on there like can never say the name of it. I like to call it Mutation. You know what Mutazion or it's got a weird pronunciation, but it has What the Golf on it. It has some games from Fenji. There's some really great indies on there, like really nice polished, great games. It's got Sonic Racing and a couple other like iconic characters that they've launched on it, but you can play the games on your phone and you can play them on your Apple TV. So I don't touch my phone for gaming. It's never been a thing that I've ever thought to do. I played RuneScape for a hot minute on my phone, but other than that, I don't really think I'm gonna go download a game on my phone so I can distract myself from other phone things. But what happened was my boyfriend, I come home from Japan and he's like, check out what I got. And he bought a controller to sync up with his Apple TV. And he didn't realize that he could use any of my Bluetooth controllers. But anyway, he bought a controller and downloaded some games and he's like, we can game together in the living room because he's not a gamer at all. Like he likes old school games like Donkey Kong, like back in the day kind of stuff, but doesn't play new
Hey,
titles. And he was so excited to be able to like share gaming with me. And I was like, okay, cool. We'll goof off of this. That's fine. Um, and he got What the Golf and watching my boyfriend learn to play like a new game and have fun and What the Golf is hilarious. If you haven't played it yet, it's like just super comedy and you don't know what to expect with that one. It's so much fun. Um, and then oh, what's the other game called? I can't think of the other game that we got, but we had like kind of a almost like a rhythm. You're on like a bike and you have to go into different lanes and collect coins and stuff. But
okay.
we're able to just do it from our living room from our Apple TV, and it just feels so easy for people who don't game. So gaming can be intimidating for people who aren't used to picking up controllers because You have to turn on a console or boot up the computer and click on some things and open the game and get started. Where on your Apple TV, you just boop, there's the arcade, click on a game, play it. And you're just sitting in your living room and you can use your Apple TV controller or you can sync up a Bluetooth one. You can play it on your phone. I had guests over the other day and I was like, we had to show it off to them. You guys want to play some games on our TV? And we were able to play kind of like these party games together, just super simple. And they are picking up some beautiful indie titles. And I'm really excited to see where that goes as far as getting games to more casual players or non-gamers because it's more accessible and it doesn't feel like there's some weird barrier there
Okay.
that you would normally get.
I like that though. That you're right. That does extend the branch out to people that really don't game. I like that a lot though.
I'm excited. I'm excited about it.
That means he's got to be a gamer now.
We'll get him. We'll get him sooner or later.
Eventually, yes. I think this last one that I put on here, um, it's interesting. Like when we were making the list, I kind of threw this on last minute. So I haven't really seen much about it. It just released the last couple of days. I think December 7th, if I'm not mistaken. But the reason I threw it on was because I was looking for like a good horror game, kind of like to re-recommend for this week. And while I was talking to a couple people, this game came up a couple times to because it's cheaper, it's shorter, but it gets the message by quickly. It's called Sweet 776,
And I got to peek at this game, and it looks super creepy.
it is. It's like the story behind it, the description says that it's a pure terror with a twisted backstory, jumping straight into the horrors surrounding Sweet 776. So, what I've been told is, because I haven't personally played it, the reviews from other people, yeah, I just literally went black there. We're watching the video right now for anyone that can't see the video.
The light falling.
Yeah, the light just literally turned off, and now it's a whole talking. And now, apparently, this woman was murdered or killed inside some way, and you figure out the story as you go along. But you walk to this house, and when you ring the bell, it pisses her off. Like she's like she can't stand the ring of the bell, which is like probably one of the weirdest like holes I've ever heard of. But apparently, it comes into play later on that in like super crazy twisted backstory to it. And I've heard people say this is terrifying. Even watching like the video from like Markiplier. Markiplier was screaming. He was screaming from like the 5 minutes I watched him. Screaming. That's how scary it was. They say it's
my gosh.
Yeah, they say it's a really good atmosphere. It's got a really good feel to it. It's really well done for what it is, and it's $4. Like for $4, you know? Like,
yeah. How long is the gameplay? Do we know?
Supposedly it's only like 45 to 50 minutes, but there's
that explains a lot.
endings.
Because when I was looking up, I was trying to find a review on it to get like a simple rundown, but every single YouTube video was a full playthrough.
Yep.
And I'm like, why are these all full playthroughs? Where's my rundown? But I guess it's so short. It's like you just can just enjoy the entire game. Like,
yeah, they're just like
in a YouTube video.
like, here you go, there you go. Yeah, like I've been hearing some really good things about it. So this is probably something I'll play on Friday. With Friday Night Frights, and I'll probably go through it real fast. But apparently it's a progressive horror, so which I appreciate. I hate games that throw just throw stuff at you just to make you scared.
Mm-hmm.
I like a game that like you're like lying in bed and you hear like a gentle tapping, and like you go and see what it is, and it's nothing there, and then the next night, something's scratching, and then the next night there's someone that was watching you, and then the next night you're dead. So like I like those type of games.
I feel like the story really is what makes things really scary. The anticipation and the build up. I tried to play Visage.
God.
And I wasn't okay, so you're freaking out. I need to maybe play it some more because I was playing with a friend and I didn't get into it. I wasn't I wasn't scared, and I felt like I was missing something. Like, some of it was scary, but not I didn't have any, like, super, like, frights or anything. I feel like I need
It
to maybe
gets
play it further. I played maybe, what, 3 hours of it or so? But yeah, I feel like I was missing something with it.
it gets really good. Maybe I'm just a giant baby then, because it gets really good later on. But they also were releasing it in episodes, so
Mhm.
like you got to the end of one. The story is really creepy. Like the beginning of the whole visage thing. Uh, ring the bell again. Oh God.
Oh,
Oh
no,
no!
no,
Don't ring the bell again. No.
no.
So, yeah. So this is the kind of creepy crap I like. Like he opened the door and there's that probably like written blood. Ring the bell again. No, thank you. I'm good.
This
Um,
is another one of those games that have very simple graphics,
yeah.
yet you can still get, like, that eerie creepiness out of it, and, like, the gameplay really is the highlight of it. I like that. I like that because I think it allows people who have those really good stories they wanna tell to be able to develop something without having
I,
to spend, 2 years just getting the graphics right.
I love that you paused when he rang the bell. he, yeah, you paused when he rang the bell, and I'm like on edge right now because I know something's gonna happen. And oh my God!
Ah! Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, something's in the house. Oh no. Ring ring. Oh, it's everywhere on the walls now.
okay, we're stopping this. Okay,
Yep.
oh my God, we're done with that.
Oh no. We're gonna have to
Oh,
play that one.
yes. Oh,
That'll be a good one. I like it because it's short. I really do like short games. I really like finding games that are right under 3 hours because you can experience something without having to come back to it another day. I'm really bad at coming back to things. So if
me
I can
too.
have an experience that's really enjoyable or scary or sad or just any of these like cool experience these games that really pull your emotions out. Um if I can experience them in just a sitting or one stream, like one stream games. I need to make a list of like one stream games that are just great.
Oh, it's so true. It's so true. It's funny because like I've never played this game again. I'm like I see all these reviews of it, and it's apparently very terrifying. So
Oh, good. Good, good.
that face
Oh,
got me. That face got me hardcore. My God, that
$4.
was
Gonna pick that one up for sure.
yeah. I'll be grabbing that later for
That's a coffee. That's less than a coffee.
yeah. Oh my God, that really got me. I'm not even joking. Like I was legit like that popped out, and oh, scary games get me so bad.
You need some adrenaline to get your day going.
Oh, I'm awake now.
$4.
Do not worry. I am a wide awake now.
That's
Oh
great.
man. So let's see.
You
We
had a
have.
great lineup. I feel like we have some really gruesome kind of scary titles this time.
Oh yeah.
Was kind of our theme.
Oh yeah. It's coming
Next
up
time
with
we should do soft, squishy adorableness.
the little stuff. We have with it's going away from Halloween. I figure we throw the scary stuff in now, right?
Yeah, yeah, grab them now.
um,
It's when they're on sale, right? Like you get the discount Halloween candy right after Halloween.
heck yeah. So the next couple things that we're having, these are actually the upcoming games that's coming up. They should be releasing within the next week. It's gonna be a weekly show. So I have actually the first one's actually a tiny build game that has been, if you're in the tiny build has this little like insiders club that they release. So they sometimes send out emails, and this was one of the games that actually was thrown out there, like almost like an alpha, just like, hey, like try this out and see what happens. It really is interesting. The thing I appreciate about Tiny Build is they try new things. Like
Mm.
they're willing to like throw a bone to whatever and try something new. So this is called Not for Broadcast.
Oh wow, this looks totally different. Yeah, I feel like Tiny Build games don't really have a theme to them.
They don't, like, you can't pinpoint one thing. I mean, besides their logo being Tiny Build with the Hello Neighbor guy, as we talked about last time.
Yeah.
You really can't pinpoint one thing on Tiny Build. Like they have Swag and Sorcery, they have Hello Neighbor, they have Not for Broadcast, they have the Crazy Delivery Service. You know,
Yeah, the delivery service ones.
they like just decide to just throw stuff out there. So the basis of this is take control of a national nightly news As a radical government comes to power, in an immersive, high-pressure propaganda sim, you control what the people see and determine what's not for broadcast. So,
Oh
you're
my god.
yeah,
This
yeah.
looks great. I'm already sold. I already sold on
Right?
this one.
Isn't this crazy? Like you're literally
Yes.
you're
Anything that has
controlling.
live action in a video game, you don't see it anymore. I used to have a 3DO, and there were so many live action games, and now you don't see it anymore. This looks
Oh,
so
through
good.
video. That's so cool that you have 3DO actually. So they're showing right now. They're showing for anyone that can't see, they're showing like the actual gameplay. And it looks like you're just controlling what actually is being thrown onto the TV. So there's 4 live videos, and you're pressing the button of what live video you're supposed to be showing, which is cool.
Yeah, that's neat. I feel like, and it looks like you don't get to see what they're talking about until you like throw them up on the screen. Well, I guess they're gonna have like the same dialogue between each other, and then okay. So I'm trying to. So you're switching between who's it focused on, who's talking.
Well, is the right? It looks like the middle is your preview screen, and the right is the live screen. So it looks like you see the middle one first. So that's going to be your focus, and then it looks like a second later it appears on the right screen, which is I guess the live content.
That's what it looks like.
So you just keep switching back and forth between the actors and actress. I'm like watching this, I'm just like, huh. It looks really cool. It really does. And like we said, Tiny Villages does these amazing things with games. I just yeah.
So yeah, you get to view it. You get to view the video like a couple seconds prior to them showing live on TV. So there's a censor button I can see. So I guess you get to kind of see what their dialogue is, their actions, whether you need to censor them or not. That This is different. This is really different.
It looks really cool, and this is prologue too. So this isn't even the full game. This gets released tomorrow. So it's actually a free download. You can actually
Oh,
download
is
it
it?
for free. Yep.
I'm gonna have to look at this one.
Yeah, it's completely free download for tomorrow. It's cool. It's original. I see you have more controls. I'm not sure what the other controls do. I'm sure those will come into play later on, but I see a big sensor button, and I guess if something gets a little out of crazy, you could just censor them real fast.
I like it.
Oh, there it is. Censor.
Oh.
He swore. No, he swore. No.
Oh, he's apologizing for it.
Oh man.
I want to run my own TV show. That's really
This is
fun.
perfect. This is exactly what you need to do. Oh man. Yeah, this game looks good. I'm really interested in it. Definitely something that is going to be very original. I have to say though, the big thing that I noticed with Tiny Build is, and it stinks because, oh, that's cool. So what the heck?
Oh, is he getting up? He's like,
Oh, the show's over, and he started broadcasting to people. Interesting. The big thing that I noticed about Tiny Build is they take a lot of risks, and they really enjoy like putting out games of very original genres. I feel like they don't get some of the recognition that they deserve with some of their games. Sometimes they have great games out there, and some people aren't willing to like try new genres to see find a brand new game that they might enjoy.
yeah, they've been putting a lot into what they do. I feel like they haven't. You don't see them come up in like the award shows yet. Like you said, they haven't gotten quite the recognition yet. They have some great titles, and like I've enjoyed a lot of the Tiny Build games that I've played. Maybe
Graveyard Keeper.
2020 will be their year.
Maybe this is a good step in the right direction. If this is the start of their lineup, I like it.
Yeah,
I know
they've been putting a lot into what they're doing.
I know they just released a new DLC for Graveyard Keeper with the tavern stuff. That was really cool.
That's such a cool game.
It's
I played
such
that one for a little bit, and yeah, if you like Stardew Valley and graveyards, you don't want to miss out on Graveyard Keeper for sure.
Who doesn't like graveyards? I mean, gosh. So that is not for broadcast. Definitely a game to check out from Tiny Build. I gotta load up the
And
next
that
one.
one's on the 13th. That one comes out.
It actually comes out tomorrow, the 11th.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's like it releases like 6 a.m. Eastern time, I think, and that's
Okay.
just a prologue. So very simple to just grab it and head on out.
Definitely gonna take a peek at that one.
This one surprisingly doesn't have any video to it. This is a game that hasn't come out yet too. It's called Fate Tactics, the next one. And
Humble
this is kind of
Bundle. Ooh, the Humble Bundle game.
yeah, and that's the big thing is Humble Bundle's another studio that has like been killing it lately. Been popping out a lot of good games, and that they just haven't really. I mean, they're known for, which I think they just changed their whole. I think they just changed everything about their monthly plan. They made it like Humble Bundle Select now, which is it's a little different than what it was before. But Fate Tactics is played like a tactics game, like Final Fantasy Tactics or anything like that.
I have played Final Fantasy Tactics because I don't play very many like this, but I had a DS, and for whatever reason, I had Final Fantasy Tactics, and I really enjoyed it.
This is like that, but they've taken the premise and probably advanced on it. Obviously, it hasn't released yet, so not sure 100% about what the whole thing is right now. But it definitely has that Final Fantasy feel to it. It has that very big like anime feel to it, which I really love about it. I think that's in the video already. The video literally is 30 seconds.
Little sneaky peek. But yeah, it's got that kind of floaty island Final Tactics. Look, I like the graphics a lot. I love the art style. It definitely kind of draws you in.
Yeah,
Very
it's super
visually
cute.
pleasing for sure. Oh, look at the character conversations stuff. The dialogue box.
Like a cookie mini game too.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's always a
games.
selling point.
Right? Cookie mini
Fishing
games
mini games, cookie mini games. If you can have one of those.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just keep resetting the video. It's just like that. No, this
That's
is definitely,
fine. Yeah, we're getting a good look at it.
This is definitely a good one. This is something that really piqued my interest when I was checking it out. It definitely. I love tactical games. I love games like this. Like it's very, very like classic RPG tactics, move across the board, and you have to plan ahead. I love these type of games. I could play this game for 100 hours and never be sick of it, kind of thing.
Right. I like the strategy of it. Like you really have to stop and think, like calculate. You know, it's kind of like a chess game. You got to calculate your next move. If I move this guy here, what about the other guy over here? How can I bring him around? And oh, well, I didn't notice their mage on this side. What if he comes in? I love that having to piece it together. It's like trying to predict what's going to happen and be a couple steps ahead of your opponent.
100% too. And that's exactly why I actually really love those games. Just they have that feel to it where you're always trying to outwit your opponent. You're always trying to be like one step ahead of them. I like that a lot.
That'll be a
Oh yeah, definitely.
if you're into that gameplay, I think if you like Final Fantasy Tactics, Fate Tactics will be a good one to check out.
And
coming soon.
That one's coming soon. They didn't really release a date, but on the Humble Bundle side, it said late 2019, which most likely will be in the next week or so. I'm pretty sure we're pretty late in the 2019 right now.
Towards the end, it's going to be a nice Christmas one.
Night 97M has purchased 3 chests.
Have you ever gifted anyone like Steam games for Christmas? I've never really, or Humble Bundle like digital content for Christmas. I've never really thought about it.
I have not. That's actually a really good point. I have actually no. I have gifted people through Steam. I've never actually been gifted through Humble Bundle.
Yeah, I've got a friend that just got a new computer for Christmas. She got it early, and I might have to send her some games because you're new to PC land. Some free games heading your way for presents might be a fun Christmas gift idea.
See, that's a good idea right there. Who doesn't want a good game for something like that, you know?
Yeah. Because trying to build that library when you get started takes some time. Once you had your computer through a couple Steam sales, then you're drowning in games. But until then, building that library might be a fun thing to help friends with.
Oh,
Some of your
100%.
favorite titles.
That's a phenomenal idea, actually.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that.
I'm gonna start sending out codes now. Be like, Merry Christmas.
Little e-cards. You remember the little e-cards you used to send people back in the day when that was fun? Now I'm scared to open them because they might be spam.
I still send my mom an e-card every year, actually.
Do you? That is so sweet. That is adorable.
Yeah.
What
She
sites do you use for e-cards now?
There's like a bunch of, you type e-cards and you actually go online. Like right now, if you go
Cool.
on, there's one that I used. There's like electronic e-cards, something like that. There's e-cards.com, something like that. Yep, that's exactly what it is. e-cards.com right here. It's in my email. They just reminded me to send another one.
Yes.
But that's
I
definitely
always like those ones where you like cut your face out and it puts them on like dancing elves and stuff. So those are so fun. We don't do that enough anymore.
Oh yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, no, they're definitely e-cards. The singing ones and stuff like that were so much fun.
I miss that. I'll have to dig that out. Bring it back.
Right, that's it. E-cards 2019. Let's go. So I think the next game we have is let's see, Mage Mania, which is actually yeah, if you like from what I'm seeing, it says grab your hats and your food. It's time for a mage battle. Dive into the world of magic. Makes everything crazy with power and food. Choose your special mage and combine your magic towards victory. It looks like a little party game. Like,
yeah, it kind of like reminds me of, for whatever reason, Magicka, and it looks like a really old school game, like something I would have on one of those big floppy disks for some reason, but like a party game.
Yeah, no, it just looks like a very simple, like you said, Magicka. Like it looks like a top-down Magicka where it's very simple graphics and they're just fighting for popcorn and stuff, as you see in watermelons.
Oh my gosh, that's so cute. Have you seen the 4-player co-op? Not trying to take away from Mage Mania here. It's not a co-op game, but it's a 4-player game. Boomerang Foo?
Boomerang Foo?
Oh, we gotta add that to the next podcast. You've got to see Boomerang Foo. It's the cutest little game where you're trying to kill your friends, but it's so freaking cute. It's okay.
I want to see it now. Gosh.
That's what this one reminded me of. We'll have to look at it later. So, okay, so yeah, your little you can play up to 4 player. Okay, so is it local or is it online?
It's local. It's going to be a local one, but I think they, from what I read, they're planning to bring an online aspect to it, but it's going to be, they're a small studio, so they're doing local first, and they're going to work their way into bringing online play to it.
But it's on Steam right now.
It is on Steam in 2 days.
Have you checked out the Play Together on Steam feature that just launched?
No.
It makes any local co-op game an online multiplayer game.
Well, tell me more.
It's like the share play on Xbox, kind of through Mixer. So yeah, it's really cool. I think it's called Play Together. And all you do is you boot up your local co-op games and you invite your friends from your friend list to use share play or play together. And they boot up. Your computer acts as the main system, and they get to play and take over a controller just like they would if they were sitting next to you at the house.
That is freaking cool. I love that.
Yes. So it's going to breathe life back into all of these really cool local co-op games that you've never been able to play because you don't have any IRL friends, and sad. But now you can invite your online friends all across the world to play with you.
Like who doesn't have? Oh god.
Oh.
Oh, sad. All my friends
really
are digital.
Cool. Yeah, mine too. The people I play with, like most of my IRL friends aren't super into gaming, so it makes it hard to be like, I want to play this game where I need another person. So I get to test it out on last Wednesday with Bombfest. So Zach, the dev of Bombfest, has been trying to make it online multiplayer, but that is a lot of work. You know, there's service involved and interconnect connections and latencies. I don't know how it all works, but I know it's complicated because he was trying so hard to make it online multiplayer. And then Steam launched this new tool, and I think it's still kind of beta. So they're still testing it out. It's not on all games. You'll have to go in and just boot up those local co-op games and see if you can invite your friends to them. And we tried it with Bombfest, and it worked seamlessly. And
Oh,
since he
wow.
was the dev, he could be like, "Oh, there's like a delay here. Or it's not quite where it needs to be." But he was like, "This is exactly what I wanted from my online co-op
That's
or
perfect.
online multiplayer." And I'm so excited because it's just gonna let me go back into my library and find all of my local co-op games and be able to like invite my friends to play them. So
Duck
they won't
game.
even have to, at least on Steam, they won't have to wait for it to be for them to develop those tools to make it online.
I'm not excited now. We'll go back and find Duck game. I'm gonna start playing everybody now. I love that game. That's like literally like a hidden passion of mine. Duck game is literally like if I could play one game for the rest of my life, Duck game might be in the running for it. It's stupid fun. And like when you kill your opponent, you can quack at them. I'm like, yes.
Oh my god.
No,
There's
it's
just something
literally
satisfying about honking and quacking.
100%. It's 4 player. It's 4 player Duck Fest. It's ridiculous.
Oh, it looks great. I'm looking at it right now, and yes, this looks like so much fun. Invite
It's
me.
stupid fun.
Invite me. We'll have to set up a date.
Oh, 100%.
This will be great.
Yeah, yeah. That game is frustratingly amazing. Like it's stupid fun.
Nice.
Let's see here. So the last game that we have for today is going to be Beyond Senses. So this got me really intrigued.
So, Beyond Senses is an innovative multiplayer and single player horror game. Thanks to a variety of different features, Beyond Senses guarantees a varied and adrenaline charged gameplay, both alone and with friends. So, this is riding on our kind of scary horror game thing we've had today.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me more.
Game is so it's kind of like what we were talking about like last year, where you play either a survivor or you play like a monster. But this game is pure like you're not trying to escape. This is pure like you're either a monster hunter or you're the monster, and the monster hunters are just trying to kill the monsters, like just flat out trying to eliminate them. No escaping possible. You two are going to fight to the death,
Ooh,
and both of them.
I like that because normally you're trying to escape
Uh-huh.
and you can't fight back. Oh, this is okay.
And this one is like, it takes classical monsters, so werewolf, vampire, ghoul, I think, ghoul as well, or something like that, I think. And it gives them the classic powers that you normally find inside of those monsters, with a few varied twists. The monster hunters are very very varied in like the weapons and the things that they can use as well. And that's all I know about completely right now. I wasn't able to get a huge aspect to it, just because I'll start that right there. Just because it doesn't give you a huge amount of details yet. They kind of like are leaving a lot of it to surprise. But it comes out the 13th, and it looks really cool. And it's a multiplayer and a single player experience because you could play a single player where it's you against like a AI monster, or you can play the multiplayer experience, which is creepy like that, and it's where the hunters are hunting the monsters and monsters are hunting the hunters, and I don't know, it just looks really cool. And I don't know, maybe I'm just addicted to those type of games, but it just like looks awesome.
You'll be the expert go-to for this type of content for sure. I love that you can play it single or multiplayer. That can be a pain point for some people. Some people really only want to play single player. They don't want to deal with other, people in their gameplay. And then some people love having like that. I love the adrenaline you get from playing other people. You're like, ha, someone on their computer right now just got owned. And you can just kind of feel them raging through the internet. So I love that you get to play multiplayer too if you choose to.
I agree. Yeah, the single player would be nice if like you don't have internet or something of that sense, or you just want to be in your quiet place at the time.
Yeah, don't have to worry about voice chat
Yeah.
or any of that.
Exactly. And then the multiplayer aspect, which just as you see, there's not much actual gameplay to it. No one's actually got to dive into it yet. Or the NDA has like kept them from posting in videos because there's literally I scoured for like a good 15 minutes looking for a video for this. None.
Oh, and it's so close to launch. They've kept it close, huh?
They've done a good job. I think they probably had some like private beta testers and stuff like that going on, but like other than that, nothing.
Wow.
And it looks decent. I mean, it's better than what we were talking about earlier. It's not like just little blocks. And it's creepy. It's super dark. The atmosphere seems like it's set. It looks like they're sitting down little signs to capture. And you see this little vampire flyby right here. That vampire flyby right there, which means that those monsters are probably really quick. And there's a vampire coming onto his prey, I guess.
I'm liking the look of it. Sure. And I love that it's kind of classic monsters. I feel like you're playing an old scary movie, like a black and white scary movie, but you get to be a part of it.
And that's the thing too, is like a lot of these people are trying to reinvent the wheel. When sometimes all you really want is just that classic, enjoyable experience with the monster, hunt down silver bullets werewolf kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd like that classic build to it. It was a good choice.
I still have Sweet 776 loaded up. Oh God.
The Nightmare Before Christmas, indie episode 2.
So I think that's it for the list in games there, if I'm not mistaken. So the Kickstarter of the week was actually one that you found.
Yes, I scoured around today to find the coolest Kickstarter I could. There's so many to look through, but this one, the video stood out for me, and I had to choose. I mean, who doesn't like taters? So this game is called Dictator, and you play as potatoes against potatoes. Potato, potato, potato. It looks so cute. But you have to watch this Kickstarter video with sound. The developer of this game is hilarious. If you like comedy, oh my god, this video is so good. I giggled the entire time.
He's good, actually. He's really funny.
I love it. I love it.
It reminds me of like Civilization in a sense, but potatoes.
But potatoes. So yeah, you're playing a potato, and from what he said, you start out as a slave potato that I guess gets his freedom, and there's these different factions around, and you have to figure out who you want to align with, which types of potatoes you want to align yourself with, and you advance through the ages. You start out with sticks, and then you get bigger sticks, and then you get sticks with swords and guns, and you would kind of advance your weaponry to, I guess, eventually like nuclear warfare with potatoes.
Nuclear warfare. God.
He was saying that like you can deep fry your potato to get like a stronger outer shell on your potato. You can sacrifice your potato to the potato gods, as you do. And yeah, please go watch the video for this for this game, because it's great. But it's currently in Kickstarter right now. So they're raising money for development. As you can see on the screen, Halios is sharing with you. They've almost hit their goal. They're at 1,600. And what's it say there? How much are they trying to raise?
1,900.
19. They're so close. So they have, it looks like, what, 24 days left?
Yeah, 24 days. They have 51 backers already. Like they're there.
That's awesome. So yeah, there's definitely some people very interested in this, and it's going to be a mobile game. We've been talking about a lot of PC console games today, but this one is going to be a mobile experience. And mobile game is growing very rapidly, I feel like. I've been hearing more and more about mobile games with like the Apple Arcade coming out. Mobile games are really popular in China and Japan. So I think this is a cool market that I haven't quite explored yet. But
I play way too many mobile games.
Look at all those taters.
I play way too many mobile games.
Do you?
Actually, you know what game's been killing me right now?
Which one?
Is the Raid Shadow Legends has been killing me. Killing my battery.
Gotta have those extra battery packs.
Murdering my battery lately. Yeah, this literally, he actually advertises at the top of the Kickstarter. He actually advertises, it says Civilization 5, but for your phone and potatoes.
It's all
Like,
you need to know about this game.
perfect. Absolutely perfect. Exactly what you need. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he literally took he took the inspiration from that and just kept going.
It kind of has a cyanide and happiness feel to it,
I love that.
doesn't it? A little bit. I like it.
He did a good job. He put a lot of effort into all of this.
The season date.
Literally a god.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. This is gonna be a good one.
Literally a god. Oh, here's stretch goals right here. So 2,500 is monument
Ooh.
based event chains. 5,000 new unlockable deity. The plasts.
Probably a potato joke I'm not getting.
Yeah, right. 7,500 major special events for each faction. More is planned, more will be revealed. I mean, yeah. I mean,
Nice.
he's almost
Well,
got
good,
it funded to where he can release it.
Yeah, I'm so happy that it's getting traction. Kickstarters are hard to run properly. So like even like as I was going through them, I'd click on a game that looked interesting and then there wouldn't be a video or there wouldn't be screenshots because it's so early on in the process. He's done such a great job. I don't know if he's working with a team or if it's just him. Um but has done such a great job on the Kickstarter page and the video. So I can tell that this person is going to put a lot into their game as well. You don't just like half do a game and then just like go all out on the Kickstarter. You're usually pretty. He looks like he's paying a lot of attention to detail and knows exactly what they want, um, and where they're going. I would not be afraid to back this one at all.
No, this is a good. He did a great job. I mean, it's a book. Like, it's definitely a book that you can do here. And the pledging, I appreciate when they let you do pledges. Like, I hate when you go into a Kickstarter and the pledging is $20 starting off. Like,
Oh,
I'm like, some people can't do $20. Some people can do $5. Like, they have an extra $5, you know? And
yeah.
that's perfect. And the funny thing is, if this game gets funded, it'll actually be free for everybody.
Oh, it's gonna be a free. Okay, all right, cool.
Yep,
Yeah,
the game will be free for everyone, but the expansion will have unlockable content that you get just for being part of the Kickstarter.
great.
So,
All right, cool.
I think what he'll do is he'll get the Kickstarter done, and then he'll probably work his way into where the expansions you might have to pay for or something like that. I think that
Yeah, I
God's
think
here.
that's what he said because I think he said you're not gonna have to pay to play,
Just
but
like, hey, if
it's
you want
gonna
extra,
be
right?
like extra content that you will support. So usually, if a game comes out for free, the the developers still have to make money to support their game and continue to
Course.
develop it, um,
And breathe.
and breathe and eat, survive to continue to put potatoes out there.
Yep.
Um,
Now you want a potato.
so I like when it's they have to make some money somewhere. So it looks like you'll be able to buy like extra content and DLC and things like that in the game later on, but without he sounded like he was staying away from microtransactions.
Yeah.
You'll buy expansions and DLC and not microtransactions, which sounds like a good I like that kind of uh, method.
Yeah, that's really is. And
Donating it.
perfect backwards. Good job, man. Thank you. That's what
Awesome. Yeah, I've got to go back this one too. This one's too cute.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna throw a couple bucks at it. This is awesome. And actually it has looks like through test flight you can actually get access to the alpha.
You can play it right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
in the video. So most of the video, please go watch the Kickstarter video. You'll want to like double down on
Please.
your donation. Yeah, halfway through it, he's like, "Go play it now. What are you waiting for? Go on, go play." And but then he also included extra footage on the video if you don't want to go download it or you can't to see how the game mechanics work, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah, that is awesome. I like that.
Very
You did that.
thoughtful. Very thoughtful. If they're that thoughtful with their Kickstarter, I'm thinking they're probably putting a lot of thought and care into the game as well.
Yeah. Yeah, here's my favorite line right here. Don't worry, it's not going to be one of those dumb spend 1,000 hours waiting or pay $50 to broadcast games. It's PC quality gameplay built for the mobile phone, an actual game for the bloated mobile market. It's true. It's very true. A lot of these games out there, rightfully so, they got to make money. I mean, nothing, I can't hate the hustle, but it stinks when you get really far into a game and all of a sudden, well, you can't do anything until June of 2021, and you're like, oh.
No. I even run into that on like Farm Together. And I really like Farm Together, but like I was building this tree house and then it was like 21 hours from now.
Oh,
I was like, but I want my tree house now. So
but like tree
the-
houses.
those wait
Oh,
windows can be fun, but they can also be kind of frustrating depending on like, it's like 3 days until completed. And I'm like,
oh God. Oh,
but I want to play it
always.
now. Like, how can I speed this up? But yeah. So it sounds
Yeah.
yeah, there's interesting things that go into those types of games with the wait windows.
So whoever made the wait window has to be making $1 billion by now.
Oh my god, yeah, because I want to wait. I mean, I want my treehouse.
Exactly. Exactly. They're like, oh, well, we're gonna, yep, we're good. Yep. Oh man.
Just play 15 more minutes. Just 5 more minutes. Your crops will be done. You can sell them, and then you can buy more to wait longer.
Oh man, Farmville got me so hardcore with that stuff.
Gosh, it's addicting. It's so addicting. It works. It really does work, but it's like, why?
It works too well. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It works way, way, way too well.
It does. Feeds into our addictive habits.
Oh my god.
What a great lineup of games today. I really enjoyed those, Halios. You picked out some really good ones.
Good. I think we did a good job there. So I think that's it. Final words. Anything you want to say? Anything you want to shout out? I know Whitethorn's been doing some crazy things.
Oh, Whitethorn had a big announcement today in the Discord.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a new game that we are publishing that we just announced today, and this game is called Lake. And so we just welcomed them. This will be coming out. This is the last of our 2020 lineup from Gamius. They made the game Turmoil, but we still have some announcements to make. If you go in the Discord, you'll be able to keep up with our super secret announcements later. But we just brought that game in, just announced. Lake looks beautiful. I don't know if you're able to pull the video up if I send you this video. Yeah, let's see if this is the website. So this game, I'll just read this little rundown of it really quickly. It's been 17 years since Meredith, is it Wise? Left her quiet lake town in Oregon, USA. Sudden and unforeseen circumstances have forced her to come back from the big city and take up a job as a mail carrier. On her mail route, she runs into many of the townsfolk. Some are new, others are part of her long forgotten past. Why did she come back, and will she stay? So it's still, they haven't announced too much of it, but it looks beautiful, and it's a narrative adventure game. I'm really
It looks
excited for it.
cool.
So we
It
just
looks
announced it today.
really cool. I think it's going to
There
do a
it
lot
is.
of good things.
Yeah, so that's I think that's all I have for today. But yeah, I wanted to little sneak peek of that one. We'll definitely talk about it when I get more information. I still don't know anything yet.
Yeah, 100%. That's something to put on your radar there, because that's gonna be something to watch. I can't wait for that.
Yeah, definitely keep an eye on that one.
Definitely. And I think just make sure you guys are doing your dailies on CS:GO, because we have dailies in CS:GO now. So
Oh, what?
yeah, CS:GO just released this new thing where it's packs. So every week you get a brand new thing and you get new skins and stuff like that. So following the market trend.
Nice. I think that's always fun. I always like my little login bonus when I log into Don't Starve Together.
Oh god, don't
It's a
start
new little
together.
outfit.
All of them. Oh man, and the battle pass for Call of Duty. Oh god, the battle passes are rough. It's just rough. That's how they get you. That's how Paladins got me that one time. Paladins got me. Backwards. That's gonna be Legend of Keepers. That's a phenomenal game. That's in prologue right now. Yeah, guys, just make sure you guys are supporting the indie crowd. Of course, this is the second episode of the indie, which absolutely I am blessed to be doing this with such a wonderful co-host and B. And yeah, we'll be doing this. We're going to try and plan to make sure to do this every single week on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Hope you guys get a chance to join us. We'll be doing every single week. We're doing the indies, so most likely like next week, if we get a chance to play the indies that we reviewed from this week, we'll be able to review them and bring you guys the best news possible for that. And next week we want to start as many scary games, I promise.
I'll be sure we toss some cute cuddly creatures in there to balance.
Or toss Pokemon in there just to be happy.
There we go.
With that being said, guys, you have a fantastic evening. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you, Halios. Have a good night, everybody.